geez, everybody coming up to me, he's like, hey, don't underestimate this course. I'm like, I'm not going to underestimate it. And then we got to that last hill, and I'm like, okay, it's a real hill. But yeah, I think that, it's a national championship, and I wanted to come to perform, and I didn't run as well as I'd like to. All things considered, I'm starting my season. I think this is the very beginning, and when you get your ass kicked once, like okay, I got to get really back into it, and really put my head down and start putting in big miles now. Yeah.
How long have you been back to training?
My first workout was 2 weeks ago today, so I was like, it wasn't, it was enough to come in and I think see where my fitness is. But it's still a national championship. Like I wanted to I didn't come here just to race it. I wanted to perform. With that said, I think there's a lot more time to really put in some good volume.
And have you been back in Flagstaff with Mike, or where have you been?
I've been home. I've been up in Crested Butte with the Boss Group.
Okay.
My girlfriend Katie Ransberger, she trains with them, and Emma and Joe Bosshard were like, hey, you can come up and train with us for a little bit. And I just did some easy runs with them, one workout, and then I came down to Colorado or to Denver and did a couple workouts to get a little more speed in before this race, and then. Yeah, so now I'm going back to Flag after this.
Yeah. Anything else between now and like indoors or?
No. I think this was a good indication that I really need to get back into it. Like I need to actually train really, So this is there's no more races until then.
Yeah. How much of that first mile sting today? Was that a surprise on the legs?
Well, no, it wasn't that. The first mile wasn't that bad. I don't even know what did we run the first mile?
I didn't say it. You guys were just a little under 4:30 pace at 2 miles.
Yeah, it wasn't. I don't think it was anything crazy. Like the race wasn't. The only crazy part was the bus that almost hit us. That first mile, I was fortunately on the other side, but nothing really. I don't think it was a Stingers race so much as you had to have good fitness coming in. Like that last mile was a real strength race.
There are a couple of really good free agents on the market right now in terms of potential training partners. Are you recruiting?
I'm not recruiting. Mike says we're not a team. So we're just a group of individuals training really hard, trying to chase Olympic medals. So we're not a team.
Yeah. Why is that his way of framing it? Why doesn't he just call you guys a team?
I think I think if you have Mike's more about getting the most for the athletes. I think if you have more individualization for your athletes, the athletes have more power. The more you would think as a team you have more power, but collectively actually, if you're a group of individuals who work as a team, the athletes have the most power.
So do you think of yourselves as a team in your head, or you don't?
I think you have to ask each person. I do.
Yeah.
We come to practice every day. We run together like we're a team. But for all intents and purposes, we're not.
No team name in the works?
What?
No team name in the works?
No, you have to ask Robbie. I don't have a team name. We're team hard work.
Do you think your success since leaving Bowerman has in any way shown others you don't have to be here to run well, that you can take other formulas and make it work?
I think probably. Yeah, honestly, there used to be a thought on Bowerman this is it. This is the top of the game, and I think now it's not the only ticket in town. Bowerman's still really good. They're not going anywhere, but I still think there are other teams now that are up there and competitive.
Were you surprised by all the exits the last 2 weeks? Karan, Elise, and Koopa?
I I didn't think they'd leave this year. I think it's leaving this year during an Olympic year is something that I wouldn't probably do. But I'm not surprised that people are leaving at some point. Yeah.
Do you think it was just the move to Eugene?
No, I think that you have to look at the people leaving. The people there are really happy. I talk to the people still, and everyone's still very happy. I think every person had a different reason for why they were leaving Bowerman. And you look at the people, Grant's even on the older side. Elise is on the older side. I'm on the older side. These are older people that are generally leaving. Yeah. Generally. Yeah. They're coming into their prime.
I would argue they're in their prime, right?
Yeah. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
But I think that each person had a different reason. I've talked to each person, and all of them had valid reasons. Yeah.
What do they have to say? We haven't heard anything publicly.
I don't know.
You're the first person remotely ever Bowerman affiliated that the media has heard anything from.
What do you mean?
Since everyone has left in the last couple of weeks, we haven't really heard anything.
Well,
So
I
the
think
first opportunity we've had.
I'm
any
not
insight.
Bowerman. I haven't been there for a year. I wish I could tell you guys what's going on. I don't know. I haven't been there for an entire year. So like, you're asking the wrong guy. But I'll tell you what I think. I don't know. Yeah. What do you want to know?
Well, I mean, we're just curious, like, why they're leaving, because we've heard these Instagram statements, "I'm gone," and they've been low on specifics.
Like I said, I've kind of just been focused on Mike and his group. I really don't know. Like I said, I was surprised they were leaving this year. So I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I kind of have an outside idea, but I can't really speak to it. Really.
All right, back to Woody Kincaid,
Yeah.
though. I'm curious, like, what are your thoughts on your 2023 season, the track season? How do you think it went for you?
2023?
Yeah.
I think that, for most of it, it was really good. And even that 10,000, I think I did, I think I overtrained a little bit going into that 10,000. And I think I ran well for where I was, even getting 11. So that, I think how I finished the season, I've learned a lot from. I wasn't really happy with the end. But there was a lot of things I took away from it. Like I can train really well on my own. I can, I trust Mike's training. Overall, the season was awesome. And it was a big change to really to have a PR in a year where you change groups. I think was a big deal for me.
Do you regret doing the double at USA's as opposed to focusing on either the 10 or the 5?
Well, it's hard to say because this year I probably tried the same thing, but I have 10 days between. Right. So I can't be like, yeah, I regret it, and then go do it this year. But
no, it's the meet structure differently because I'm thinking like you show up to Worlds and you didn't run maybe as well as you wanted in the 10K, and you're thinking maybe if I was in that 5K things would have gone better. Like, does that cross your mind?
Yeah, I think so. Because I think, especially last year, I was in better 5K shape. With that said, I think I learned in the 10K, I can be really competitive on the world stage. And there's a piece of me in the back of my mind that thinks I probably could be the best in the 10K if I could really get better at racing and getting all the conditions correct and all those things. So, yeah, maybe I would have done better in the 5, but in some ways I'm glad I just did the 10 and was able to just focus on that. And I think that I have a chance to medal in the 10,000. So, yeah.
What tells you that?
Intuition, I guess. I also, I'm not blind to my strengths. I have a good kick. You need to have a good kick these days in the 10,000. You need to be able to run a 53 in hot weather with humidity, And I think if I train for that, I can run that. And I have a really strong engine. I always have. So I have the tools to do it. I can run through a brick wall if I have to get to the end. But yeah, everything's there to do it. I have a good coach. I have a good team. I have the strength behind me. I've had the experience. So I think there's a chance to do it. I really do.
Will we see you indoors?
Huh?
Will we see you indoors? Milrose or anything?
I don't know. I mean, I was just talking to Ray Flynn, who's an agent in the sport, and he runs Milrose, I believe. He wants me to do it. I just talked to him this morning at 6 a.m. But it really all comes down to is like where am I focusing my energy this year? I like to race. I'll probably race indoors, but I can see myself really focusing on that 10K and knocking the standard out. And then I'm like, all right, I'm going, if I can get under 27, if I get under 26.50, God, hopefully. Then I'm like, all right, I'm going to Olympics, I'm focusing on that, right?
Thanks, Woody.
Appreciate it, Woody. Thank you.
Yeah.